know you. All right then.
You have questions? Stay safe.
Seven months or so. Maybe 8 if I'm lucky. Oh, just counting the months I have left to live. I used to count by the years, and I suspect there'll come a time when I count by the days. It's a talent I have, sort of like reading palms. But I do long for the days when I never bothered to count. I'm sorry. I haven't properly introduced myself to you, child. My name is Iris the Elder, although it wasn't always meant to reflect my age. I was once one of 2 irises in the village where I grew up, long before I moved to DarkWater Crossing. One was about a dozen years younger than I, just a babe when I was a girl. So she was Iris the Younger, and I was Iris the Elder. And the name stuck with me ever since. Not the mine, that's for sure. I came to this part of Eastmarch for the hot springs. I've heard they have the power to rejuvenate. I'm not searching for a miracle or a cure for old age. Just a little more time to enjoy it. Yes, I do have gold to offer, although the courier's been late with this month's delivery. They just don't make them like they used to. I've had to borrow quite a bit of food as of late, but it helps that I don't have much of an appetite. Good people and an eclectic group. I think Refna is quite blessed to be surrounded by such diversity. Keith's taught her how to swim, and Sondas is twice the man her father ever was. And I find it rather adorable how she scurries around with that pickaxe too. It's good to see young folk take an interest in such honest labor. True, and it often isn't. Not by nords. But I wonder sometimes if when we raise a toast to the miners, we raise our cups to an idea. The same is true for our warriors and our farmers. We spend so much time honoring some abstract notion of what a laborer is, what a warrior is, and we forget these are individual people. People with names and families, proud Nord men and women with hopes, desires, and fears. When you conflate them all, you forget they are many. So if you honor the miners here, honor them by name. Tormir and Sondas, Derkeithus, Hanukkah, and Werner. Oh, yes. I've tried health potions and visited some of the most renowned healers in all of Skyrim, but it's almost like everything is being forced back into place. It feels so unnatural. That may be fine for someone like yourself, but I much rather prefer a good soak. All my aches and pains seem to float away. The hunters discourage most of the wildlife. as does the heat from the spring. They also provide a few spirits to help pass the time. I need a bit of wine before I can get over the embarrassment, you see. These hunters, their bodies have such sheen and vigor, like a marble table burnished to a perfect polish. My skin, however, is as piebald as a horse and as wrinkled as an old tunic stashed away at the bottom of a chest. May sound a bit odd for an old lady like myself to worry about such things, but while I may be old, I'm still a woman. And a woman likes to feel beautiful. True enough, but my legs can. I may not look it, but in my youth, I was also known as Iris the Swift, the fastest courier in all of Skyrim. Fleet of foot and single-minded. There's nothing you can't outrun if you just stick to the road and block your mind of anything outside it. The couriers who never make it are always the ones who stop for a breather or just to admire the view. Partly out of tradition, the first couriers were messengers for rebels and brigands for whom secrecy was paramount. A horse tends to attract attention, especially those of the guard placed outside the stables. The couriers of old were master pickpockets. They could blend in with the crowd and slide the missive right into your tunic as you passed them. The recipient wouldn't even notice the folded note in their pocket until they were halfway undressed and readying for bed. Nowadays, though, I suspect it's more a matter of cost. Bales of hay and sacks of oats cost a lot of coin. Stamina potions, on the other hand, are relatively cheap. I suspect the time saved isn't worth the maintenance. And if a horse were to die on the road, you'd lose a significant investment. If a courier were to die, you could easily replace him at no cost. I don't know when horses became more valuable than people, but such is the irony of freedom. It was evening star, 2 hours to midnight. Me and the other couriers were at the inn, picking snow off our boots, ready to call it a night. The snowstorm that night was the fiercest in years, and the inn was densely packed. Not a soul in Eastmarch was outside that night, or so we thought. The door flung open to reveal a young Nord man, covered head to toe in thick furs and thicker snow. The innkeeper sat him down and gave him some hot tea. The blood was only now beginning to thaw from his nose. He began to mumble, softly but desperately, trying to form the words. His wife, he said, had just given birth, but the bleeding would not stop. He needed a special health potion, but the alchemist in Windhelm was out on research, and the next closest lived in an old shack west of Irvastead. He wanted a horse, but the stable master had refused him. He tried to go on foot, but only made it as far as Kynesgrove. It was. For a Nord to fear cold is like a fish fearing water. But this wasn't just any cold, and it wasn't just any storm. The innkeep, an old woman but one of conviction, took to pleading on his behalf. She went to warriors, to sellswords, but none would lend an ear. So she leapt on the table and scolded them. This man's wife is in Candleheart Hall fighting for her life, and he has not the strength to go on. Who among his fellow Nords will lend a hand in his time of need? Is there any man here willing to risk his life for a cause that is noble? The others shied away, but I stood. I am, I said. And without another word, I rushed out the door. don't know what pushed me more, my desire to prove myself, or my fury at the cowardice displayed by my fellow nords. Maybe a little of both. Regardless, I braved the elements, the pounding snow and the unforgiving cold to retrieve the potion and return to Windhelm. I lost a toe that night, and I still can't feel all my fingers. And for all my efforts, I wasn't even paid. But it was payment enough to see the face on the man's wife as she held her newborn. How can I help you? I remember my first job. A courier, fresher than the morning dew, asked to deliver a letter to an ornery and cantankerous Jarl. I recall how frightened I was entering that great hall, how the sound echoed through the chamber, and even the dust seemed to curtsy as it settled. The lords carried themselves with that air of nobility, postures straighter than a fence post. Yet my eyes were drawn to an Argonian envoy, the first I'd ever seen. I know it wasn't polite, but I couldn't help but stare. In the light, his scales were a dazzle of colors, set off by majestic horns that were circled by rings of gold. How wondrous it must have been to be a Jarl, I thought, to meet such exotic people and see fascinating things. Yet, as I waited to deliver my letter, the Jarl did nothing but complain about the size of her longhouse and the tediousness of her station. Yet, as I waited to deliver my letter, the Jarl did nothing but complain about the size of her longhouse and the tediousness of her station. Farewell. Fear is never a good trait for a warrior, but for a courier, it can be an excellent source of motivation. Fellow Lord, a sight we see less and less these days, it seems. While I do enjoy new faces, I also like the sight of a familiar one.
Hello. It's a quiet town. Have the mine, of course. Some chickens, goats. We manage to grow and fish enough food to keep ourselves fed. Other than that, there's not much to say, really. Me? I mostly just work the fields. Won't hear me complaining, though. It beats slaving away on Red Belly Mine. I also make a weekly trip out to Riften to pick up supplies for Bjorsi when the shop's running low. Not so much on the way there, but definitely on the way back. I bring ore from the mines to trade. The ore's too heavy for the bandits to bother with, but the supplies always tempt them. Say, you wouldn't happen to be heading out that way, would you? We lost our only horse to bandits last week, and it's quite a long journey to make by foot. My legs aren't what they used to be. Would you mind taking the ore shipment out to Bercy at the Pond Prawn? They'll give you a crate of supplies to bring back to the shop in exchange. I really appreciate it. Come see me when you've got the supplies. Safe travels, friend. There's a small tavern if you're looking for a room. Copper Cask Inn, just before the southern bridge. A bard named Yita is staying there now. Said she came down from Windhelm to visit the hot springs. She plays there most nights. She's not very good, but it beats listening to Varen ramble on about his glory days. My brother Bjorsi runs a shop. I'm sure he would give you a good price on anything you're looking to sell.
Hello. No, my husband and I are farmers. Not really. The volcanic soil is fairly fertile, and the hot springs keep things from freezing, unlike in most of this god's-forsaken province. Safe travels. Hello.
Greetings. Several seasons. My son Adrian was born here. We have a good life in DarkWater. Not anymore, now that the people know my wife and I. The younger folk in particular are quite friendly to us. Refna especially. That girl has a curious mind, just full of questions. Cyrodiil. I'd rather not go into it. It's all in the past. My life is here now with my wife and son. Friends helped me escape. Not every Altmer is a Thalmor sympathizer. Yes. I do. In time I hope the Thalmor will be defeated, and I'll be able to return if I want to. For now I've grown quite fond of this land. Not really. The soil is good and the climate is temperate because of the hot springs. Safe
For someone or something to sneak up on us down here.
Amsiel is grateful you to have brought him to DarkWater. He is also pleased to see a warm fire and fresh fish. But he is curious why there are tents. Surely there is a barrack somewhere for Amsiel to live. Amsiel does not see this as a positive. Good weather in Skyrim is like a hairy nord. It is not the same as fur. But Amsiel is sorry. He spoke out of turn. He was simply confused by the large house. That is not the miner's barracks. No, but he has said too much. Amsiel does not wish to make waves with his new employer. Amsiel does not know much, but he is a willing learner when he is properly motivated. But he will not waste his energy. He was very disappointed when he learned the Khajiit caravans would not give Amsiel a horse. No, pardon me. This makes Amsiel sound lazy. He is merely pointing out the time saved and the amount of goods that can be peddled via wagon. Amsiel does not like sarcasm. He feels you will have very few friends if you continue to say such things. Oh, it seems I have overstepped my bounds. Amsiel did not want to say something so mean. It is best he says nothing at all. That is why Amsiel will not tell you that you need to take a bath. He will brave the smell for the sake of the friendship. Amsiel joined a crew of sailors because he was hungry. But it turns out Amsiel is very bad at sailing. He was told to hoist the sail, but his claws ripped through the sheet. Amsiel was sent below deck, and managed to hide when the pirates came. May your road lead you to warm sands. Sugar and sands, friend. Amsiel. But... No, pardon me. This makes Amsiel sound lazy. He is merely pointing out that Amsiel... That is why Amsiel will not tell you that you need to take a bath. He will brave the smell for the sake of the friendship. The pirates were very kind to Amsiel, even though their breath smelled of salt and garbage. Amsiel does not wish to be mean, only to speak truth. Amsiel then tried to work as a fisherman. He was very good at his job, but he did not know the fish were meant to be eaten by others. Then Amsiel heard of a job from which he could not be fired, and that is where he met you. Amsiel is not so forward. He is also afraid the foreman will say no. Instead, Amsiel will learn his way into the mines, like always. He will follow the schedules and mine for ore. He will blend in with the other workers, so they will think he was always there. Your offer is very kind, but Amsiel prefers a life where he is not constantly attacked by bears and bandits. No, he does not mean to say your life is foolish. Amsiel did not say that word. He is only trying to make a convincing argument. You are right. Once again you have caught Amsiel with his tail in his mouth. But he is only concerned with your welfare. Adventurers live short lives. Safe travels.
I do love my wife. Just wish she'd get her head out of the clouds.
Got something for just about everybody in here. Give a holler if you have any questions.
Yeah?
Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that. Mm-hmm.
both.
Stupid
Greetings.
dog.
Good day, friend.
Welcome. Let me know if you want anything. Think I got a clean mug around here somewhere. Hmm? And... next time.
Hello. Safe travels.
I used to be an adventurer in my day. Then I settled down, got married. That's right. I used to explore all over. I'm the one who originally found the mine DarkWater Crossing was built around. I was actually scouting a bit the other day, old time's sake. Spied a brigand heading back to his camp. Up for a little hunting? My husband is being a sad stick, so I can't go myself. This brings back memories. Come back when you're done, and maybe I'll be up to showing you a few tricks. Bandits are cowards. Don't strain yourself chasing them all down.
I try to think of it as coaxing the ore from the rock. I'm lucky enough that none of my friends have been killed. Of course, we have soldiers coming through all the time. All right, then.
Hi, I've never seen you around here before. Are you a miner too?
Annika used to help more with me. I do love my wife. Just wish she'd get her head out of the clouds.
Is there something I can help you with? Not much to it, really. We fish and keep to ourselves. Try to keep from upsetting the Empire or the Stormcloaks, and so far the war's left us alone.
The cloying air in this place is almost unbearable.
Do you think we'll find gold nuggets in here?
Greetings.
something.